how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Congratulations on being one of the 5 finalists for Future 5 this year. That is very exciting. How do you feel about that?
Nervous and excited all at the same time.
Totally normal feelings, but it is very well deserved, so congrats again.
Thank you.
So I wanted to give everybody listening an opportunity to get to know more about you because I've had the privilege to do so. And so the first question that I have for you is just over this past year, 2021, how have you redefined success in your professional but also personal life?
Yeah, so honestly, in my professional life, I don't feel like I've redefined anything. I call myself a rule follower. So I ask people questions and I do exactly what they say. And I feel like that's gotten me this far in my professional life. But when I really try to think about this year and what's changed is I had a lot of health problems at the beginning of the year and kind of throughout the year. And I just realized that I had to really focus on myself, which seems like at a community event that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It does, though.
Yeah, I mean, it made me realize that I could not put the energy into everything when I was sick and not feeling well and kind of dragging my feet. So figuring that out, mental and physical health, just helped me be more involved in the things that I was involved in instead of just kind of skirting by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things a lot of people realized this year is that it was about that overall like mental well-being, that it wasn't just about excelling in your career, but also excelling in your personal life and taking care of yourself because otherwise, like you said, you can't execute those other things that you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at like I was involved all the way through school and then, I mean, my first job pretty involved, but then once these things started happening, I had no focus at work. And I was pretty transparent with my boss about that it was hard to focus on these things with all of this life happening, and I'd never had that kind of life happening before.
Well, it's great that you were willing, though, to raise your hand and be honest about that, because I think so many people don't want to do that. They're afraid or they're more timid to be honest, and I think that was good that you were willing to raise your hand and say, hey, I might need some help.
Yeah, I mean, I had to be pretty transparent. I was not doing very well health-wise for a little while there. Aww. So having that support system at work and at home, that was just very nice.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you seem to be doing better, and I think that you had a very successful year, whether you would agree with that or not.
Thank you.
Yeah. So one of the things I think is really interesting about you, Hannah, is that you're technically a newcomer to Fond du Lac, right? You were not born and raised here, and I think having that perspective as a young professional and also as a newcomer to Fond du Lac is really needed because sometimes we get so engrossed in having lived here forever that we don't have that kind of perspective that you have. And so how are you committed to improving the Fond du Lac community from that different outsider look? What things do you think that you love and what things could you see improvement on and how do you want to improve those?
Well, honestly, when I first moved here, I wanted anything to get away. I felt like it was so hard to break into this community at first. It seemed like everyone that was from here had friends here and they didn't need more friends. So it was really hard to kind of blend into the community and get into that. And then once I did, I realized it really was an important community, not too big where it's Milwaukee size and you don't know anyone, but then not your small town where you can't get away from anyone either.
Right.
So I did really like that. And then just seeing, people like you that were super involved in wanting to do that, knowing I'd done that in my whole life in every other community I'd been in. So I think that's my commitment is I want to make it easier for new people to come in. Like how can we advertise Envision, YPF, jobs in general that are in the area? I think there's so many opportunities here that people just don't know are there.
So despite the challenges in 2020 and 2021, right, because that's been a challenge for everyone, how have you continued to grow in your professional career? And one thing that I wanted you to touch on, I think is really interesting that you did receive a promotion this year and that you worked really hard to just show a lot of initiative and take on some things that you weren't necessarily asked to do, but you decided to do for yourself.
Yeah, I just noticed like I loved what I was doing right when I started working at Michael's. So I did just ask for more once I felt like, I don't know if I'd say mastered something, but felt good and confident with it. Like I wanted the next thing. So a big thing that was not originally in my job description is that Michael's does a bi-monthly magazine.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like 30 pages or so, and it was not the plan for me to take that over. And within 6 months of working there, I took that over.
That's
the design
really
portion.
Cool. That should say a lot, right? That they trusted you to do that, and you're obviously doing a great job of it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a total team effort, but I'm doing the design for it and then retouching things as needed. But yeah, I was astonished when they gave me that role, and I think that might have played into the promotion a little bit because that gave me some creativity. It's totally internal, so it's not the regular branded stuff that you see online. It's a little bit different, so I was able to play with some new things and grow my skills there quite a bit.
Well, congrats again, Hannah. I'm very excited to
you.
see what else you have to bring in the year 2022.
I'm excited as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.